What's up, everybody? Look, I'm at the airport right now, so I don't have a ton of time. But one of the biggest questions that I'm seeing people asking over and over and over again is like, what is going on with altcoins, right? Bitcoin's at $109,000, $110,000. And sure, some alts are performing okay, but they're not really gaining any traction. They're not really gaining any momentum, and it's frustrating a lot of people, right? Many people feel like, man, this is when I was supposed to be making super big bags, and I've been investing into altcoins, and I've been going in on altcoins, and they're not moving, and I'm seeing everyone making money on Bitcoin, and I'm just left here not making any money. And it's really it's a sucky feeling in a moment like this, where so many people have so much money invested into altcoins, and they're seeing the market pumping, but they're not really feeling the reward of it. And I wanted to just speak on that a little bit today about why I think this is happening and why I don't think you should be super concerned right now. Okay, so what I want you to understand is that this is normal, right? And oftentimes, whenever the market does give you pumps, when it does give you these sorts of moves, you are going to see Bitcoin lead the charge first, right? So whenever you go look at the pumps that we did from 60K to like 90K. Think about the ones from 30K to 60K. Even think about whenever the bull market of last cycle started. Think about how that went. It always goes in the natural order of liquidity, which oftentimes means the least risky things to the most risky things. So whenever liquidity gets injected back into the market, people are going to be a little bit tense, right? When everyone's kind of feeling excited and they want to invest back in, they're not just going to go all in, feet first, and start investing into pre-sales and microcaps and meme coins. No, they're going to be, okay, I have a little bit of extra cash to invest. Things might be turning around a little bit. Let me slow walk my way in. So what are they going to do? They're going to buy a little bit of Bitcoin and buy a little bit of Bitcoin and buy a little bit of Bitcoin. And then its price is going to go up. And you know what they're going to do? Like, okay, this feels good. This feels nice. The water's warm. Cool. Well, let me see what else I can do here. And then they're going to be like, all right, what's a little bit more risky, right? I have some profits. I have some house money now. Let's see what I can do. Let me buy a little Ethereum, a little Solana, a little XRP. Just easing their way in, not going too crazy. Because again, we've been burned many times within the last 3 years, right? 3 long years, right? And so they're going to buy a little bit of those alts. And then what are they going to do? Okay, well, now these alts are starting to gain a little bit of traction. What else can we do here? Well, let me buy a little bit of my little micro caps. Let me buy a little TARS AI. Let me buy a little Infineon. Let me buy a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? Some of these smaller ones. And that natural order continues, right? It's a progressive nature of the market in which people will naturally start investing into the less risky things and work their way gradually into the most risky things. And that is an actually good thing for the crypto market, because there have been many moments in which, sorry, I know that's loud. There have been many moments in which, like, the crypto market was so young and so, not immature, but yeah, let's just call it young, right? It was so young that whenever people were investing in, they would just invest in and just jump into random stuff and meme coins and pre-sales and altcoins immediately and just get burned. And you don't want that in a crypto market that's maturing. No, you want to see the natural order flow of liquidity entering into the crypto market, because it's a sign that it's maturing, which is going to, of course, allow for that mass adoption that we're looking for. So I know that a moment like this feels frustrating and it feels worrying and it gets concerning. Like, listen, why aren't alts running? The reason why alts aren't running is because it's not their time to run yet. But we have seen some good signs that alts will very likely run at some point. Now, when? Look, I don't know, guys. It might take a week, it might take a month, it might take half a year. I don't know. But the fact that, for example, we saw Bitcoin dominance break down in structure, which we talked about like a week ago or so roughly, is a sign that altcoins are preparing to have their moment to outperform Bitcoin and to try to give this market their all and give us those gains that we're looking for. Now is not the time to be giving up on alts. Now is the time to start doing your due diligence, to start looking at alts, to start preparing to buy alts. Maybe not buying them quite yet, but preparing to do so in order to capitalize on that liquidity when it flows from Bitcoin into alts, if that is how this is going to play out. Because again, I can't guarantee that's how this is going to go, but historically that is how this typically plays out, and that's what I'm preparing for. So what am I doing right now? I'm being happy that Bitcoin's running. I'm taking profit off my Bitcoin position. I'm stacking that cash to the side to then be able to reinvest it into altcoins if we do get a pullback or a cool down, or just slowly and, integrate, in intervals, I suppose, start to inject that liquidity back in towards my alts. Okay. And so listen, I know it's frustrating, but now's not the time to give up on your alts, because I do believe, especially now that we've seen Bitcoin dominance break down out of that ascending structure, that could be the beginning of us forming this new leg down for Bitcoin dominance, which over time could imply altcoins really start doing well. Now, again, I can't guarantee anything, but those are my thoughts, and this is how I'm preparing for it. So I have a quick trip to make. I'll be landing in a couple hours or so I'll keep you guys updated as all this does play out. But don't get frustrated right now, guys. Listen, Bitcoin's at an all-time high, and that is never a bad thing for the crypto market, okay? So just stay tuned, lock in, and I'll see you guys pretty soon. Check out the links down below. I got some stuff for BTCC. We got the school. Check that all out, and I'll see you later. Peace out, everybody.